that I'm expecting to see in the bottom lane, and it is going to be locked in, is going to have a lot of tools in order to create lane pushes, and it means that they would be able to leave Logia alone down in the bottom side and allow the Karma to roam around a little bit and move around with Link.
Now Team Lawrence headed up towards this top side as a 5-man unit.
What is that logo? I love it.
I didn't see it. I did not notice it.
Looks like Zeus.
This is upgraded Zeus. It's like Ren and Stimpy Zeus.
Do you know who made the Zeus logo?
I have no idea. No.
It was Doc.
Really?
Why you know Doctor? Doc GFX. Go hit him up on Twitter, Doc_GFX. He does a lot of cool work. I think he's mostly committed to who he's working for these days, but he absolutely hated that they kept using the logo for, a year after he just like threw it together in Photoshop in like 5 minutes. And this is this is something special what Team Lawrence has put together. I feel like this is a team that we probably ought to see improving grounds at this point.
Okay, yeah, I want a professional commission of this one. The same low quality, just high effort.
Yeah, I mean, you could just make it an NFT and call it a day.
Oh my goodness. Why are you going to bring it to this one?
Well, whenever you're casting with Joshi, there's going to be politics involved somehow. We were already talking about, stand your ground states, and Caitlyn got a gun.
We're bringing it all, Josh. We got the full encompassing cast. There's a
League
topic
of Legends.
Look at this. We have the full encompassing observer as well.
Yeah, it's always topical. Don't worry about it. Oh, Trevor's actually the one playing the Lulu this time, which means that we do not have the lethal tempo. It kind of goes a little bit more towards my expectation that the original lethal tempo that they went for was not intentional, right?
Gosh, don't say that. Don't say that. It was perfectly intentional.
It worked. So, if you ask them later on, you have to ask, is like, well, was that what you meant to take? And they'll say, oh yeah, 100%. No doubt. You should definitely ban it in future games.
And that's why we trust them at surface value. The results there. This is kind of like Magical and his whole Ohmwrecker won once on Super League, therefore 100% win rate.
True. I mean, didn't it have actually 100% win rate because one team bought it when they had effectively already won the game?
Yeah, it actually did have 100% win rate in that league.
Yeah. Well, there's over 1 or 2 games, so it's such a low sample size. And now Texas can also say 100% win rate with Kraken Slayer Lulu, so very
Slayer
difficult.
lethal tempo.
Mm-hmm.
You could say a first time for a lot of things off that build.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 113 times played in Platinum Plus as Lulu support. Probably a little bit lower. I imagine there's a couple psychopaths that will play it in solo lanes. But DC Porsche has been really zoned off. He has 0 CS.
Ooh, under the tower, gets caught out. Doesn't even get deep enough to really amount any sort of defense. But now, Lawrence caught out a little bit here. Will be able to scoot on out as Robbie takes a bit of damage. But here comes the teleport looking for the collapse now. Able to rejoin the fight. Will be Porsche. Falling down is going to be Lawrence. Robbie on the back end will not go for any more of an engage. It's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange, top for top.
Can we all give a quick round of applause for TC Porsche because he has gotten his first 5 CS. Wait, what?
Wait, Lawrence, what are you doing here with that teleport? Maybe going for a re-engage, but is it going to work out? Answer might be yes. Lawrence getting lower and lower. It's going to turn out to be a no, or maybe here we got more low health bars. Rovex trying to clean up the fight, but he just can't get there. And now Rovex looks to be the one to be cleaned up here as Logia is going to take down Texas in the process. Our observer, I'm sorry, man. We're just going to be fighting all over the map again.
Oh, okay, we hit the backspace, and now it's time to see how this actually shakes out. Texas, very low. No force shot coming through. Oh, it's the W. Nice snipe coming out from Logia at the end. But I also want to point out the difference here, right? The fact that Udyr has gone with the Predator makes ganks more effective, but not going to be as effective in these long skirmishes that we have been seeing thus far. And it's a big reason why Link was not able to contribute to the top side fight nearly as effectively. He doesn't have the attack speed, doesn't have the bonus range to go for. And with the 42 coming through, we're seeing about a 500 gold link starting to come out from UST. Oh, Trevor.
Looking to find Trevor. He's low on mana, low on health. Able to get Texas to show up. So Texas comes back to lane. Texas will be by himself for a while, but that's okay. The reset coming out from Logia and Daption. Robbie Bob, the wave, going to crash into his tower. Rovex applying a lot of pressure here. Has a lot of time to really work with this pressure, as a lot of resets came out from different lanes of University of St. Thomas.
Yep. We're also seeing right now that the fact that Robbie Bob picked up the blue buff, really helpful for his ability to start stacking these up. He's not going to have to use as many autos. He's able to, use Q a little bit more often in order to try and pick up some of these stacks. And we're going to have to pay a lot of attention to how much AP he's actually picked up. We're also going to have to pay a lot of attention to how much CS Porsche is able to pick up. Remember, this is a lane that he opted into after already seeing the Akshan, and he got 0 CS before he died, and now stuck underneath the turret. Link is also here.
This is what we're expecting right here. Rovex able to shove in the lane and instantly takes the roam. The rest of the squad of UST able to show up towards his top side and clean house. Response from UST is going to be go and take the Drake in the bottom lane. Katsuo and Texas posture down there.
Got to feel for Porsche at this point. He got 0 CS before his first death, 14 CS before his second death, and with no teleport, Akshan is going to be super accelerated. Even though he already has 2 deaths of his own, the fact that he is up 25 CS at only 6 minutes means that his ability to roam around the map and use his ultimate are going to be so much more impactful than TC Porsche for at least the next 10-20 minutes.
Now he's going to be able to get that recall. Let's see what he's going to purchase. But look at the quiver, so still getting more itemization for damage, but Robbie is getting more more stats in a different way, as he's able to get a kill onto Rovex. Over the wall, able to get some damage in his Daption, but yeah, you're not going to find too much else given this scenario. Robbie is off to a great start, 3-0-2, only 6 minutes into this game.
He's also up about 25 CS over his lane opponent, so they're both of these solo lanes coming in are vastly different, and now Texas has to dodge.
Oh, yes, to dance. Put on the shoes. Get that 2-step going, waiting for the final bullet to go through. Takes a moment to wait for Daption. It is set up beautifully. Times it with the ace in the hole. The Piltover Peacemaker, excuse me. Good pickup there by Lagia.
Great play coming out from Daption as well to set it up and distract Texas to try and make sure that Logia could actually find the last bit of damage there. But fight for the Scuttle Crab goes over to Link. The game remains in the balance, about 600 gold in favor of Team Lawrence, and again, a huge part of that is up in the top lane, but now get to a down bot.
Zuo finds the Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike to follow up. The flash comes out of Logia. Logia able to get the Deadly Flourish, roots down Katsuo off the help of Link. We'll get that kill.
We saw it. Katsuo tried to kick Link through Logia, but was not quite able to do it, and now we turn our attention. Trevor, got to be very careful, Captain.
Trevor, I'm sorry. You don't have the lethal tempo. You can't fight it like you did last time. He will fall. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, though. Ace in the hole comes out. Link takes it and walks away with the thumbs up.
Ram is okay. There's no reason to be worried whatsoever. He just stood still. He's like, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Wish he had danced a little bit. That would have been even better. But as it is, the game is still starting to go in favor of Team Lawrence. They're down a dragon, but they are up about 1,500 gold with the next dragon spawning in 2.5 minutes. Should be a situation where Team Lawrence are well poised to pick it up because they have a 3-0 Jhin. They have a 25 CS lead in the top lane, and the Udyr doing just fine. The one thing that they got to worry about, though, is getting caught out by Robbie Bob, who himself has Predator on the Viger. Run at you very quickly, throw down the cage, and hopefully lock down different people so that they can just find 4v5s.
That is terrifying. See a Vigar running at you at full speed. Look how fast he's going right now as he has his Predator popped. Here comes Link looking to jump in, try and get the steal. Is going to get picked up as Robbie Bob is able to get another kill, but it's going to be returned as Lawrence takes down Katsuo in the process. But here comes Team Lawrence. They're looking to pick up more on the back end of this. Porsche now gets caught out. The bear slap comes through. Daption able to get a couple of more picks of chip damage before Link gets the double. And now Team Lawrence able to chase away University of St. Thomas.
But who comes out with the Rift Herald? It's actually going to be
Porsche.
UST. So it's going to be okay for now. Robbie Bob continuing to farm up and get a couple more stacks, but the top side of the map going in favor of Team Lawrence. And Robbie Bob has to be very careful. There's still an ultimate available for Akshan.
Dragon Rage comes out from Katsuo, will keep him alive. Robbie Bob waits, but doesn't want to take an engage. Health bar far too low. And the rest of Team Lawrence know this. They're going to start applying pressure straight into this mid lane, stopping the recall of Bobby in the process, forcing him to take the long way home. Rovex will continue shoving in the wave.
Yeah, Bobby Rob gonna be backing away. Minute left on the Dragon. Teleport should be available for Porsche as well as Lawrence before the Dragon actually spawns, but the only person with a Mythic is likely going to be Robbie Bob, as Porsche gonna get hunted down.
Link running on in, comes in with the Tiger stance. There comes the stun. Porsche going to look to challenge this. Bear Slap comes in, gets the stun. A lot of fancy footwork coming out of Porsche, but it's not going to amount for nothing when you don't have the health bar to deal with the damage coming through. Now here comes Katsuo coming down to the bot lane. Net's not going to find its mark. Sonic Wave lands onto a minion. Curtain Call will be opened up as a fight breaks out in the mid lane as well. Curtain Call will not find the final mark onto Texas. Robbie Bob able to get the 1v1 against Rovex in the process. We're going to take another look at that one. Rovex just taking the wrong path to the lane and feels all sorts of pain thanks to Robbie Bob.
Robbie Bob has been tearing apart this tournament, consistently finding leads 1v1 in these landing phases, and it does come at a crucial time. 15 seconds before the Dragon actually spawns. Porsche, using the teleport in order to go top lane, is going to have a little bit more of a tough time actually getting towards the Dragon, but it doesn't look like UST are going to be committing to it just quite yet, as they also see that Lawrence teleporting to top lane, Rovex teleporting towards the mid lane. There's an opportunity for both of these teams to go for the fight. With a 5-0 Robbie, gotta be very careful where you walk. Daption doesn't know where they are.
Oh, Daption has no idea that 3 members of the University of St. Thomas are collapsing onto him. Here comes Katsuo, waiting for the Sonic Wave to land. Going to jump forward with the Safeguard. Gets the Cripple as well as the Tempest to slow him down, lock him up, and send him straight to the respawn.
On the top side, though, Porsche, yet again, having a bit of a rough game. Looking like elated a little bit as he ends up getting dove yet again. Half the CS of Action and 5 deaths. Not even got the Blade of the Ruin King completed yet. That item rather cheap. But another plate going to be going down, and Action going to be continuing to build up a lead up in the top side of the map, and it's going to be traded right now for the Dragon that's picked up by UST.
It's your figurehead. Your team's named after him. Team Lawrence really applying the gold onto said top laner. They're able to get a good amount onto him. He does have a 400 gold bounty, but here's Katsuo coming in a very interesting angle. Goes after Daption. Will get the slow. Sonic Wave has to flash away as Logia shows up, and over the wall comes Rovex. Shutdown going to come through. Kill goes over to Logia. Now Porsche on the run gets caught out by Rovex. Rovex going to follow up and bring the pain to Porsche as Rovex picks up that kill.
Lawrence still going in the top lane. He's going to see Trevor here in a second. I don't know if that's going to be enough to intimidate him. Well, he gets a good chunk of damage down onto the Yordle, but will back away, as he still doesn't know exactly where Texas is. When Texas re-shows in the mid lane, expect to see Lawrence head right back top lane, or maybe try and catch Trevor in rotation.
Ooh, on the rotation, looking for the kill. Will not get it, but gets a good chunk of damage onto Trevor and heads back up to that top lane to continue the split push. Instead, just going to take the recall. Take all the gold he's earned from pushing in those minion waves. Let's see what he's able to purchase with it.
Oh, Link.
A Link caught out, gets hit. Dark Matter goes through, Ultimate goes through, and Robbie just decimates him. Katsuo, Robbie, Trevor, all circling around Logia and Daption. Sonic Wave does not land. Trevor looking to get the Glitter Lance. Will jump forward using the Wild Growth to get the slow, to get the knockup. But Logia makes him pay. 2 kills going through on an engage that University of St. Thomas decided was their own. Now completely flipped on. There goes the ultimate, and running forward is going to be Lawrence. Looks to get the chip damage onto Texas. Texas is able to back out in time. Deadly Flourish will not find the root, and they will not be able to chase for more as Team Lawrence, they get the team fight turnaround, and now they're going for the siege. Robbie gets a chunk of damage back onto Lawrence. Got to keep a close eye on that ultimate. Primordial Burst still halfway through its cooldown. Robbie and Logia going to be okay.
Gonna be all right, but a bit of a overextension once again from UST. This is the way they play. They play very aggressive, very confident. Sometimes they get bitten for it. They thought they could find that fight, and now Robbie, ooh, watch out. Both of them have flash.
Ooh. You feel the breeze of that last Q on the back of Lawrence there. Very close situation. Robbie unable to get that kill, but the flash is burnt for both of them, which which is very high value on a champion like Vigar. Doesn't have much mobility to work with, still has the baby cage. But if you want to start picking off someone, you know, having that mobility gone, it might be a target to start setting your sights on.
Okay. Texas Trevor also pushing in the mid lane. But the big timer that we got to pay attention to is the Dragon coming up in 2 minutes. Robbie and Lawrence will not have their flashes available. But we're also paying attention to the fact that mythics are starting to come through for almost everybody. We're still waiting on Trevor. We're still waiting on, I'll give TC Porsche a pass because he goes for an entire different item.
Ooh, gets caught out by the baby cage. Here comes the ace in the hole. Link not going to take too much damage from that one. It isn't a primordial burst. It isn't that ultimate you have to worry about. 6-1-3 is Robbie Bob. The rest of the University of St. Thomas, 15 minutes into this game, have a 4K lead. Not University of St. Thomas. Team Lawrence having that 4K lead. Now trying to push University of St. Thomas out that area of the Dragon Pit as it does spawn within the next minute and 20 seconds. Getting a lot of that deep vision established. Not much counter vision, though, to deny from University of St. Thomas.
Yeah, we got two main characters. It's Fed Guy. We'll see if Texas and Trevor go down.
Here comes the curtain call. Kind of hard to hit it from this angle. Will get blocked off by Trevor. Ultimate going to be used by Lawrence. Gets the pops onto Kitsuo, who falls dangerously low, just above 100 health remaining. Trying to defend is going to be University of St. Thomas. Is posturing up for the siege. Is going to be Lawrence just buying time for the Rift Herald over up top.
Pretty big ultimates being used as well, coming out from Rovix and Logia, trying to create these kills in the mid lane, and it means that they will not have them available for the upcoming Dragon. We're also seeing a lot of push and counter push happening in the mid. They try and jockey for position. Lulu, pretty fast, should have access to their first item. Could be Shirelles or Moonstone, but either way, going to be running over to the Dragon here in just a second, and they have it. They don't. Trevor going to be walking out into this Mythic with not a completed item. You compare to what Dabshin has, already has the Shirelles, already has the Oblivion Orb, in order to cut some of the big healing. It's going to be coming out from both TC Porsche and Kitsuo.
Team Lawrence will definitely be looking for a team fight quite soon. If they can lock down Robbie, it'd be pretty big. Link losing half his health off a single combo of Robbie.
Oh, Link has no flash.
Looking for the engage. Link gets destroyed. Primordial burst into his face. Team Lawrence now on the back end of this one, not looking comfortable, not feeling comfortable going for the engage, but still they will find a lot of damage, a lot of punishment onto Porsche, but it gets returned as Lawrence goes down. It's going to be Link, Lawrence, and Rovex to the ground. Only the bot lane remains for Team Lawrence. Robbie Bob still stands, but the health bar is getting lower for University of St. Thomas. They are able to net the Drake, though. Getting to Dragon Soul Point. Dabshin has to flash away, getting away from the baby cage, getting away from the stun of Robbie Bob, but still chasing. Out comes the Deadly Flourish, will not land, steps onto a cupcake trap. Is Logia still chasing the rest of University of St. Thomas out of here. As they do get the Dragon Soul Point, they do get the retreat.
They also get the objective bounty, a couple 100 extra gold now going in favor of UST, but they are still down about 3,500 gold, or 3,500 gold after that fight ends up going through. And the big thing, Link popping over the wall, don't know who caused it, don't know if that was his choice or somebody else deciding that he was going to be sacrificed to the Dragon, ends up going in with no flash and doesn't have any tools left to escape the just raw damage that Robbie Bob has put out. He's gone for a Rabadon's directly, now picking up the Void Staff. He knows what he's about. He wants to do damage. He wants to do it quickly, and this tier likely just going to be sitting in his inventory for quite a while at this point.
And now Team Lawrence posturing up towards the mid lane, have Robbie Bob in their sights. Bear Slap goes through, damage goes through, and down will go Robbie. Good pickup for Team Lawrence. That is a threat, a big one off the map as they start posturing up for the siege in the mid lane. Link going out to deny some resources from the jungle. Everyone else looking to find Kitsuo as Dabshin unable to get the root. Here comes the ace in the hole, going to land onto Dabshin. Out comes the charge from Shelly. Good chunk of damage onto the tower, but the minion wave gets cleared in time. Rovex unable to finish down the tower. But now, with the new minion wave arriving, just a couple more autos and down it goes. Now looking at the escape coming out from Kitsuo, trying to find a creative path here to get the damage towards Link. He's able to get a good chunk there. Link has to back off. Link not having the best game of his life. Kitsuo Now taking the
Oh,
recall
they're
in
dead.
a rough spot. He can get sandwiched quite easily as Lawrence and Daption, speaking of getting sandwiched, getting pincered on, they're just obliterated from this game. University of St. Thomas find the collapse, get the double kill onto Porsche.
Yeah, it's such a crazy situation all across the map. Link finding Kitsuo in the bottom quadrant of the jungle. We're also seeing just people moving all over the map and just overextension coming out from Team Lawrence, not respecting that people can be behind them, not respecting the fact that teleport hasn't been changed yet. You can still teleport to wards and such, and after the 14-minute mark, you know, that option is still available. But the big thing is that UST is really starting to come back, and with this turret going down to TC Porsche, he is pretty solidly back in a spot where he is in this game. He was out of it for a long period. He was down 40 CS, but he now has more gold than Rovex, meaning that he is a credible threat in these upcoming team fights, whereas previously, you know, he was a beginning minion.
And talking about that gold, by the way, I did spot the difference between Rovex and Robbie. That is 3K separating these mid laners. Robbie has mounted quite a bit of a lead for himself.
Yep, big lead's always very helpful, and I feel like the big question that they're going to have to do is how do you push it, right? It is one thing to have a lead, it is another thing entirely to play through it, and again, UST, they probably don't feel like they're behind. They probably feel like they're even, especially with the 3 dragons coming through and the fact that Robbie Bob has 8 kills. Now he is uncontested in the side lane, and I don't even know if Akshan could deal with him. It's supposed to be a much better splasher.
Ooh, the pop there, Rovex looking for Trevor. Pressure applied into the mid lane, into the bot lane. The turret will go down top
Texas.
side. Picked up, here comes the engage, and Texas gets destroyed. Porsche now in the middle of 3. Ultimate gonna be channeled in Porsche. Not long for this world. Actually, it's gonna be Rovex who's not long for this world. Kitsuo gets flanked. Logia able to take him down in the process, continuing the pressure that's been applied by Team Lawrence. It's gonna be a 2-for-2 exchange. Rovex and Daption falling for Kitsuo and Texas.
Absolutely crazy play coming back and forth. It looked really good when Texas was down instantly, but TC Porsche, like we was saying, is definitely back in this game in a spot where he might actually be able to fight up against Lawrence just because of the way these two champions interact. As long as Lawrence isn't going to be bursting out TC Porsche, which is very hard against Irelia's W, Irelia's going to be able to fight back over and over again. So, 20 seconds left up until the Dragon. We're going to have to take stock of who's actually here first. And it looks like UST, Robbie Bob, first one to the punch. And it is so scary to walk into a Viger. You walk into that cage, and we saw even Link, the tankiest member, absolutely blown up.
It comes so fast and coming in a heartbeat in an instant. And Logia is bringing some pain quite quickly over to Trevor. Trevor getting caught out with the deadly flourish. It only takes one simple auto to knock Trevor that low. Now Kitsuo chases after Link. Link able to take the Scuttle Crab. So some vision going to be established on the side of Team Lawrence, as they're the ones who are getting the better poke in to lower University of St. Thomas, get them away from this dragon pit. Lawrence on the flank, waiting to find his opportunity to jump in. Kitsuo's just going to jump over towards his camp and take that instead. It's a complete forfeit of the Drake over to Team Lawrence.
I like that, honestly. Trevor a bit too low. The geography of the situation not really favoring them, just because Link was in a spot where he could create so much space for the rest of his damage dealers. And as we already noted, Logia 904. This guy does a lot of damage. He's chunking people really, really heavily at this point in the game. And with no true tank coming out for UST, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Watch how much he does here. Oh, he doesn't get the shot off, but, you know, in theory, imagine that Kitsuo just taking like 500 damage there. You kind of get the idea.
Every time I see that baby cage go up, I get worried for someone on Team Lawrence. If he's able to lock someone down, burst of damage that comes out is catastrophic. I do want to take a moment to look at Robbie Bob's AP, because he does have death cap. He's been farming quite well for some time now. He's been a beast in the entirety of this game. You know, death cap, void staff completed. It's a Vigar's dream to be in this scenario that Robbie Bob's in.
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out at some point, see how much AP he actually has, but he's been farming really effectively, nearly Flame Horizoning, once again, up nearly 100 CS over Rolex. And again, the thing that UST is going to be missing is the fact that they have no true tank, means that they really got to burst people out incredibly quickly, and they have the tools to do it, right? Daption, excuse me, not Daption, Robbie Bob does an incredible amount of damage. Kitsuo going with the Eclipse plus the Serpent's Fang, so he's doing a lot of damage as well to a single target. Now Texas, gotta run for the hills. Gonna be okay.
Tough one. Able to net over the wall. That's the thing about Link. He does no mobility that can really get him through other than just running as fast as he can towards the other side of that wall. But close call for Texas nonetheless, as getting a lot of established vision is going to be Team Lawrence. Spreading it from one side of the map to the other, already having control of that Dragon Pit, but it's going to be 3 minutes before anything like that spawns, so the attention will be set on to this barren area.
Lawrence.
Lawrence now getting caught out by Porsche. Tries to bring some damage back to Porsche, able to create some distance. It's getting kind of close here as Porsche trying to find the finish, able to flash away. Here comes the ultimate out of Lawrence, but he cannot finish the job. Porsche is going to be able to stay alive, but there is a collapse coming in from Team Lawrence as they head straight down to go take down Porsche, but they're going to concede the Baron in the process. Not sure if this is the play to make right here. Here comes the Deadly Flourish, able to get the root onto him. The follow-up damage is there, and down will go Porsche. The Baron, played by University of St. Thomas.
10th kill picked up by Logia, and that's the second time. We didn't get to see how the fight actually shook out, but Link and Rovex just dying meant that it was not possible for the members of Team Lawrence to actually go for an hate. So we got a fight coming up here pretty quick in probably about a minute or so, and that could be potentially game deciding, as our producer does show us what the timeline looks like. So about 1,000 gold between the two teams, a little bit less, and we see a lot coming through for the rest of the game.
So University of St. Thomas now starting to posture up towards the mid lane, standing strong as a 5-stack. Having that Baron empowered minions to try and get these pushes going for them. So far, so good. There's no one really to defend in the mid lane, but there is not a tier 2 tower available. They would have to push all the way to the inhibitor tower. So for the time being, just making sure those minion waves are pushed in well so they can flex from lane to lane to lane.
Yeah, we also see a Renduin's being completed for Robbie Bob, so going to be very difficult for these champions to catch them. But Link running around the back, they are getting a full-on collapse.
Oh, Link goes in and he goes straight for the back line. Kitsuo gets destroyed oh so quickly. Robbie Bob absolutely obliterates Daption. But now it is retreat as Robbie is far too low. Gets picked off by Logia in the process as Porsche looks to jump in, but he's all by his lonesome. There's only so much Texas can do, only so much Texas can say. A triple kill picked up by Logia, and Team Lawrence have just wiped University of St. Thomas off the map as they posture straight to siege the mid lane.
The death timers are a little bit low. There might be an opportunity for Kitsuo and Trevor to be back up, but you got nearly 25 seconds, close to 30 seconds for the rest of UST. Does Team Lawrence want to go for this? No, they're going to be backing away, looking to try and set back up in order to pick up another objective. The gold lead has been swinging over and over again, and hey, now that we're going into the Infernal Dragon, Team Lawrence want to make sure that they are going to be the first ones there to make sure that University of St. Thomas doesn't pick up the Infernal Dragon. If they pick up another one, that's the Soul, and the Soul is going to be doing so much work, giving all that extra AP to a champion that really doesn't need it.
All this tension in a finals. 5 seconds before that, Drake hits the map, and University of St. Thomas are rushing to get any priority onto that Drake entrance. They're going for their ramp, and they're able to find some. They go after Link, who's trying to stop them from getting that forward vision. Now moving forward is going to be the University of St. Thomas's Daption, able to land. Robbie Bob lands harder, and here comes Rovex diving deep, able to get it onto Trevor. Now trying to back off as Kitsuo gets low, but goes golden to buy some time. Logia is going to be one of the prime targets. You take him down. You find
double
so
revive.
much as more kills go in. A double revive to come out from Lawrence, able to get both Link and Daption back up. Now Lawrence fighting tooth and nail to make this a team fight win for Team Lawrence. Porsche walks away. Kitsuo will not land the Sonic Wave, but Lawrence is looking for more. He doesn't have the vision. Sonic Wave gonna miss once again. Kitsuo cannot land it, and he needs it, and Link comes out. There is a bear in the bushes running full sprint ahead, and Lawrence will be able to clean up the back end of that fight and shut down University of St. Thomas.
They call it Team Lawrence for a reason. 9-4-9, jumping out to a big lead, and now with only Texas and Trevor up, they're going to try and take all these structures. Daption's here as well. This should be the end of the game.
Ooh, does Texas have the DPS to stop this? Blocking the ace in the hole. Link is so low. It's another one down. Trevor falls in exchange as Lawrence is going to be traded. Robbie able to grab that kill, 14th kill of the game, but it is going to be enough to keep the University of St. Thomas alive. But the big thing here for Team Lawrence, no Dragon Soul for UST.
Link also just hanging out, getting there with his smite at the very end, and that's going to be helpful once again. Lawrence jumping out to another big fight, like we said. And no Nexus turrets currently on the map suddenly means that UST needs to be really careful. They have Akshan that can look to go for some of these back doors, and it's really difficult to catch him just because of the fact that he can go invisible. He can just like walk into your base, and there's not a lot that you can do about it unless he has some pink wards down. So, Team Lawrence going to be in a commanding position as we start looking towards the next Baron, which is in a minute and a half. And might I remind you guys, these guys are exhausted. This is game 6 or 7 for most of them today. And at this point, the question is going to be, how do you actually find an opportunity to pull out some of these big plays? It's got to be entirely muscle memory for someone like Kitsuo to try and pick up any Dragon Steel that they go for.
This is a tough one, that is for sure. You got to look at some of the silver linings, though, for University of St. Thomas. They haven't lost an inhibitor in the top lane and in the bot lane. Inhibitor towers are still up, so they're only missing one inhibitor, but they always have that threat that you were talking about, Lawrence being able to sneak in. The back door is always there now, is always an option. If UST commit to an objective, there is always a chance that TL will just go straight down the mid lane.
Threatening to do it right now. They're starting to move in, and this is one of the big things you got to do before every objective is you got to make sure that even if you don't want to do it, you want your waves pushed out so that your opponent can't contest you if you do choose to go for it. Now, it's on Texas spotting Link. Doesn't really care. He's not taking a whole lot of damage. He just kind of stands there menacingly.
Trying to flex a little bit, taking the shots. It's intimidation. He's rolling for it. He's getting a nat 1, but it's okay. No. It's working up a little bit. They're backing off.
Okay.
He's showing them what he's made of. He's standing there. Look at that. This is a Chad stance I've ever seen. Oh, he's respecting Robbie. He's not going to chance that one.
Gotta be careful. That stun is so long. There's so much damage behind it. I also want to point out that the tier is gone from Robbie's build. It's been replaced with an entire Force of Nature. Oh. Even more movement speed coming through, and very difficult to take down now that he is even more tanky.
Look at that health bar. What is that, 3,000 health on this boy?
Yeah, he's the front line now. I mean, you look at the melee champions between Kitsuo and TC Porsche.
It's the wrong holiday.
Yeah, you got like 2K on both of them. You know, I'm actually pretty sure that Robbie Bob is the tankiest member on USD.
Ooh, Robbie looking for Daption. Daption will walk out of the baby cage in time, but the flash comes in. Here's the curtain call. Link has to back off. Lawrence runs low as well, but Rovex is waiting on a flank. Has an inside track, is able to get a pop on to Kitsuo. Here comes the rest of Team Lawrence. Chip damage onto Robbie. Robbie falls to about 1,000 health. It's getting rougher and rougher for the University of St. Thomas, but they are staying together. They are staying bundled as a unit. Kitsuo chases away Lawrence, and the rest of Team Lawrence now setting up towards Baron. You do have a push coming out from Rovex over on this top side. A two-man duo to do this Baron together for Team Lawrence.
Okay, it's not super fast with Jin. I mean, it is a lot of damage at this point in the game, but his slow auto attack speed means that it is still going. But now that Lawrence is here, it goes a lot faster, and it is going to be a Baron going in favor of Team Lawrence, as this game, I believe this is the longest one we've been watching so far today, 33 minutes, and still no clear victor. Team Lawrence definitely favored to win, but they still need to play cleanly, because if they make one misstep and Robbie finds that stun into a kill, suddenly the game is looking very favorable for UST, because they just need one more dragon in order to pick up the Infernal Soul.
Even at this stage of the game, really just one more team fight could net a win for either squad. Dragon spawning within the next 45 seconds. University of St. Thomas are now starting to come 4-man stack over in the mid lane. You do have Kitsuo, who's waiting in the flank, starts to see Daption. It's going into that direction. Rovex almost caught out now, has to flash out of the baby cage to stay alive at the hands of Robbie Bob. Kitsuo dives in, goes after Daption, unable to get the Dragon's Rage yet. Curtain Call is opened
Link.
up, a couple shots going in.
Where Action is.
Not really finding too much, but here comes Link. Able to join the fight, goes after Katsuo. Rovex will take him down. Deadly Flourish not going to land as Link gets another bear slap onto Texas. Texas goes on retreat using the Blast Plant, but look at your base. Robbie Bob has to head all the way inside, and now Lawrence is going to look to challenge him. He knows the Tornado Burst is off cooldown, but he will take the 1v1 win nonetheless. He is a threat no longer, but Porsche is still able to get two. The Nexus exposed. Looking for the end. It's gonna be Team Lawrence, and they will secure it. This finals is off to a hell of a start. So University of St. Thomas versus Team Lawrence. Let us know in Twitch chat who you think is gonna take it home.
Okay, well here we are. We are in a spot where Rovex is going with the Electrocute and Ignite, choosing not to go with the Unsealed Spellbook nor the Predator. Instead, just wants to burst out targets as quickly as possible. And the one thing that we do have to say about this matchup between Yasuo and Twisted Fate is the gold card's cooldown is about a third of that of the wind wall. So there are going to be windows where if you can bait the wind wall out, Rovex will be able to go for it in about 6 seconds, provided he hasn't taken a ton of his HP in return, as Robbie Bob just jumps on top of him and dashes through minions.
When are these 5-man stacks going to meet, Josh? Keep doing them, but we don't have them meeting each other. I want a level 1 team fight. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Sad.
Not yet. Well, I mean, the last time we saw that, Robbie Bob like died at level 1.
I'm literally a Christmas tree, Josh. I got one on top of me. Why is this present not underneath my face?
Is that what the mustache is?
Is that...
No,
the beanie. Oh, the mustache is the okay, I get it. The present is supposed to be the League of Legends in front of me.
Okay. Well, both junglers starting on the bot side of the map. Pretty standard array of everything coming through, but Texas and Trevor once again swapping roles here. Texas is going to be playing the Galio with Predator, and Trevor going to be playing the Jhin this time around. And notably, Okay. I had them backwards once again because I just said that he had Predator, and I was like, wait, did Texas not start with a support item? No, that is just Trevor because they've swapped back and forth over and over again.
So many times. Over and over with him. This is a very interesting flex. It's not something I'm really used to. Like in competitive, right? The support's supposed to be a more experienced role. AD's kind of the puppy. And they're just hopping back and forth here. Got no problem making that swap. It's worked. I mean, here they are in the finals. 1 game away, 2 games away from taking a dub.
See, look at that, right? Like, Rovex probably... I'm guessing he actually hit a gold card onto Robbie Bob and then immediately gets jumped on. And that's kind of how this matchup goes, is once Twisted Fate has gold card down, it's very difficult for anything to happen. Daption goes in, gets a little bit of a knock-up, and not going to find any more than that. And the big thing for Rovex is he's going to need help dealing with this lane, because the lane matchup is just so bad. There you go, nice wait.
He times it out, the stun comes in, and it is chained together. Robbie tries to flash away, but the bear has his number, and Katsuo has Lynx. Link will fall. Katsuo looking for more, goes on to Rovex, and will take him down before the gold card drops.
Nice play coming out from Rovex to start it, right? Waiting out the wind wall and actually finding the stun once Link had gone for a butt. Fortunately, as we also saw, Kitsuo there on the backside does mean that it's a big lead going in favor of UST, and this Lee Sin, which we saw build towards lethality last game, is going to have some great targets this game to actually jump on if he chooses to go for a similar build path. And I have to imagine he probably will, because it is what we've been seeing ever since the changes to the Gourd Drinker. It's basically what he goes for every time.
Here comes the gank out of Link, heads towards the bot lane. We'll get the bear slap on the Trevor. Trevor falls low. Texas starts to run away. Link able to get the cutoff. Nowhere else for Trevor to go.
Okay, do find it.
One more bear slap. One more auto. Daption, scumbag, why are you going to take that one away?
Yeah, a bit of an awkward spot going over to somebody different than they would have ideally wanted in Lawrence. And the dodge Q.
Oh. Yeah, just got to walk straight ahead. We'll avoid it. Katsuo not able to land it. So trying to reflect the gank that happened over in the bot lane would be Katsuo. Will not find it right now, but will make a second attempt as he goes right after Lawrence, lands the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, forcing Lawrence to take the recall.
That wave is pushing towards TC Porsche. So Lawrence is going to be in a really awkward spot because he wants to teleport back to this lane in order to reset it and bounce it off the wave or bounce it off the opposing turret. Oh, but Kitsuo also going to be backing away. So TC Porsche may be in a bit of a rough spot very briefly because of the item advantage that Lawrence does have in the lane. But the wave pushing back.
And now that Lawrence has had that recall, he's ready to take a fight to Porsche. Porsche getting chunked out sub 200 health. Porsche take a recall of his own, does have the teleport to get there, but attention has been noticed. Daption heads up here. Sonic Wave not going to land on the Daption. They chase Porsche away, cut the wave. Kitsuo still in the area. No one else to really come up except for Trevor and Texas, who are roaming up towards the mid lane. Kitsuo still roaming around here, still looking for a potential engage.
Oh, Trevor, what?
Engages over the wall. Rovex, he's caught in a tower dive that came seemingly out of nowhere, and Texas will be able to stay alive.
Really cool play coming through from Trevor in Texas. That's not a way that you typically see AD carries move, and it ends up getting a kill for them because Trevor able to start off some of the damage. So, Kitsuo caught.
Kitsuo getting caught out. Lawrence and Daption looking to chase him down, and now Porsche, new challenger, arriving for this fight as Sonic Wave is not going to be able to land. Lawrence getting lower and lower. Deadly Flourish able to find its target as Porsche will get the kill onto Lawrence. Sending him back to the respawn. It's going to be his first kill of the game. No teleport for Lawrence as well, so it's going to be a long way back to lane.
I wonder if Daption sticks around to prevent this wave from crashing. He could give up a lot of his HP since he is planning to reset anyway. But instead, just going to be backing away, and the minion wave should be there in time to allow Lawrence to catch most of these minions. But we continue to see that the skirmishing has been back and forth, and now Kitsuo knows that Udyr is on the top half of the map, but not going to be able to find much of anything there because Porsche is going to be backing away. And the only real lead that we're seeing in an individual way is really going up towards the top lane, where TC Porsche is absolutely bodying Lawrence.
And here comes another gank. Beautiful use of the wind wall there. Barely able to block off the gold card. Follows it up with the last breath. Looking to finish off Rovex, but Rovex able to back out. Will fall in the process. 1-for-1 exchange thus far. As Link falls really low, a Sonic Wave goes out. Kitsuo going to eat a turret shot in the process. And the fight concludes a 1-for-1 trade of mid laners.
Yeah, you can't hit Robbie Bob with the same trick 2 different times in a row. Rovex using the Q animation in order to try and disguise his W, disguise the card. This time, Robbie Bob is a little bit more patient and waits. The only real way you can get it otherwise is by using like the stun into stun from Link. Like if stun comes out from Udyr, then Rovex should be able to land the stun if the wind wall isn't already up. He tried
to do that. The stun, it was just a millisecond, Josh. A millisecond separated that stun from landing.
Now, Rovex going towards the top lane. Are they going to get Porsche?
Makes the roam up top. Still has to walk into the zone of control. Will be able to get there. Bear slap as well, and Porsche, not long for this world. Lawrence grabs the kill.
Nice crowd control chaining as well. And down in the bottom lane, Daption also fancies the fight. Wow, look at the damage.
Ooh. Can't disrespect the Xayah. She can get a lot really quickly, especially when the blade color comes back on that back end. That being said, though, tension down there, seeing the play. Kitsuo is going to make a move for the Drake, be able to grab the Hex Drake for his squad.
Yeah, also Rovex going to try and walk into the lane real quick. Does have the red card. And for the fact that this is a really brutal matchup and the fact that he still has 3 deaths, I have to say, Rovex is actually doing fairly well on this Twisted Fate. I really like the way that he's been able to play, and the fact that he's only down a couple of CS, despite the fact that he has died in extra time compared to Robbie Bob. It does give me a lot of hope as we see potentially a fight happening in the top lane. Oh, there goes Lawrence.
Was a fight going on in the top lane, now completely concluded as Lawrence falls.
Run.
Looking for the Rift Herald. It was picked up by Link, so he does get it. Cost of his top laner. Gonna BM a little bit before taking the blast plant, separate and go back to the jungle. All that being said, Lawrence falls. Rift Herald going over to Team Lawrence.
Oh, he lost a blue card.
Breath gets used. Blue card popped as well. The wind wall goes up. Only some harassment. This current call gets opened from Trevor. Third shot comes out, looking for the 4th one onto Rovex. Rovex not having that much mana. Might need to use his next card on a blue card to be able to sustain enough. But nope, gonna back off. Is gonna be the University of St. Thomas. 9 minutes into this game. Only a slight deficit for them. They lack 300 gold compared to Team Lawrence. Still doing all right in their footing of the map as they get more and more vision control towards this top side. Look to set up a dive on the Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence has to be a little bit careful here, but he does have Link in reserve, and this is a dangerous dive coming through for USD.
There they go. Dragon's Rage going to come off as well as the hook shot to try and pull away from under the tower. But Katsuo will finish the job before the tower can do too much damage. Now Link, deep underneath this tower, has to take a long way out. Will flash away from the Sonic Wave, be able to stay alive. But Robbie is now looking to find an inside track. Doesn't want to challenge that, though. It is very hard to chase and find an Udyr.
Again, this top lane has been so volatile today between TC Porsche and Lawrence, and even what we were seeing previously with Elated, back and forth. Texas caught. Ooh,
Texas,
no E.
so low. We'll have to take the recall. Lots of pressure coming in from the Lovers duo that's been drafted by Team Lawrence as they start chipping away at these tower plates.
No ultimate for Adaption, no ultimate for Logia. I don't know if this is something they'd be willing to go for. It would be a little scary. Trevor has no mana.
Ooh, you gotta respect that. The damage comes in so fast from Logia as Trevor tries to challenge for the plates. Has to take a recall as well. Gonna be applied, clearing out those waves. Looking for another plate to be picked up on the side of Team Lawrence's bot lane. Meanwhile, on the top side, success still found by Team Lawrence. Shelly hits the rift and is gonna hit this tower, take it right down. First brick going over to Team Lawrence.
I think this might be 2 turrets going in favor of Team Lawrence back to back, right? They were so close on the bottom half. And oh, Link, no flash.
Link getting caught out. Trying to run away. Will not be able to use that bear stance to gather enough movement speed to run out, so he will be the sacrificial lamb. Still, that tower picked up for Lawrence. A lot of gold getting netted over to him. A lot of gold he very much needs. As Rovex is going to be caught out in the mid lane now. Unable to get his gold card. Gets caught by the last breath. Flashing over the wall is going to be Rovex, but he throws it into the wind wall. One more knockup and Robbie will finish the job. And now it is a cross-map play coming out from the University of St. Thomas as Bobby is going to head down to the bot lane with Katsuo. They're roaming together. They're looking for Logia, but they've gotten underneath the tower in time. Team Lawrence's bot lane will not suffer the same fate as Rovex.
Yeah, we're also seeing like that mistake coming out from Rovex. That was just a situation where if you were a little bit more actively thinking, you would not make that.
Oh, but attempted dive. Texas gets caught out underneath the tower, and the re-engage coming out from Team Lawrence. Looking for Katsuo. The deadly flourish comes out, gives him a route. He's got nowhere else to be. Katsuo will hop over, grab the scuttle, and get away.
Okay, again, less than 300 gold between these two teams, and the question is who feels like they are stronger. Oh, Robbie Bob getting jumped on. It's going to be
a bloody game.
Okay. Yeah, very bloody. And now we're going to see Logia and Adaption should be able to pick up this turret, and if they do it in time, they will also be able to back away for the upcoming dragon. But here's the teleport.
Yeah, showing up is going to be Porsche. Looks at Logia. Logia going to use the Feather Storm. Looking for the Blade Color to get the root. Will find it on the Porsche. Now flashes away. Deadly Flourish is not going to land. Still alive is going to be Logia. Logia gets under the tower and gets to safety in time. Here comes another Sonic Wave. Got to be careful, though, Link, because you don't want that Sonic Wave to lead to Logia. So the full retreat coming out of Team Lawrence as the rest of University of St. Thomas. They're going to take that momentum lead and go ahead and siege that bottom tower.
Okay, a couple turret plates going to be going over, and the dragon spawning in 5 seconds. And Team Lawrence are going to be a little bit late to this, so if USD want, they can shift over immediately, pick up this dragon, but they are a little bit slow to the punch, and I think that does mean that Team Lawrence comes in time. They should be able to stop you, especially since Kitsuo is the only one currently hitting. If Team Lawrence get a good idea of this, they could contest, but it doesn't look like they think that's the case.
Either don't know or don't care enough to go for these early drakes, as University of St. Thomas is going to be able to grab their second drake of this game so far, making this a mountain map on top of that. Now waiting in the wings will be Lawrence, who was trying to find a play onto Robbie. Going to concede that instead, heading up back towards the top lane, where he's found a lot of control in that long lane thanks to the Shelly that went down earlier. So getting a lot of gold to himself that's allowed him this presence to be able to rotate between the two lanes.
Nope. What's Rovex thinking about? Sitting there, trying to decide where he wants to go. But yeah, I mean, the ultimate is enough to convince UST to back away. Now they go back in.
To find Robbie. Robbie tries to find the engage, doesn't find the third Q. Out comes the Blade Caller, but they're not going to get the knockup. A double knockup comes in, though, from the hero's entrance, and now Robbie feels the momentum shifting towards his side as it gets cut down by Logia. It's still going to be a 2-for-1 exchange, though, in favor of the University of St. Thomas.
The crazy thing about Yasuo is he's not giving any shutdowns despite how much pressure he's had on the map, just because he's not getting that many kills in a row, and he's just trading back and forth. So the gold remains incredibly even between the two teams, and UST, they have the big lead of having these 2 extra dragons, and that was like one of the major trades that you often saw in Season 11. You would give over 3,000 gold roughly in order to pick up 2 dragons, and typically the idea was that the team with a 3,000 gold lead by picking up the Rift Heralds and the turrets is going to be stronger when you start looking at the 3rd dragon. But this is a situation where Team Lawrence are down dragons and down gold, so I don't know how easy it's going to be for them to actually contest for these upcoming dragons 3 and 4.
2-0 towers, Josh.
True. But they're losing the fights.
I know, I just wanted to bring that back up to Mania from the last time we had a discussion about that.
Oh.
Getting focused back on the game, though. Porsche now getting engaged on. Knockup comes up from Daption. It's going to be enough to save Lawrence, who will be able to get the takedown. Texas now headed on up towards Daption. Has Katsuo waiting in the flank as well, but still going to be a win for Lawrence as they get the kill and get out.
Another kill going through, like you said. I mean, it's interesting to see how different this game is from Lawrence and Porsche, right? We touched on this a little bit before, but now that they have a better matchup coming in for Porsche, he's actually ahead. He's not in a situation where he's down, 40, 50, 60 CS like we saw in the previous game. And honestly, the fact that Rovix is also very, very even in CS is a huge testament to how strong of a Twisted Fate player this guy actually is. This is an incredibly difficult matchup for them to play. And as we start looking towards the next dragon, he's going to be really close towards getting the rapid fire cannon, where he can start looking to stun different people besides the Yasuo and other characters that aren't melee.
And then taking a look at the bottom lane that's gone down for Team Lawrence, it's been pretty smooth sailing for them. 3-0-1 on Logia, as well as Daption being 2-1-4. They've had a lot of control, and they've been able to take those in 2v2s and even in 2v3s in a lot of situations. The spot lane doing quite well, but might have been cursed in the process. Katsuo looks to find a Dragon's Rage, not going to get the angle to
Nice
do
charm.
it, and coming in just in time is going to be Daption, the Blade Caller. So beautiful, but Katsuo tries to make his run, waiting for that final card to go through. Katsuo just barely alive. A couple more autos.
More.
He's gonna live, and Link is going to survive, but just barely. Now the snare goes out onto Trevor. Down goes Link in the process. This fight is pure chaos, and the health bars so low. Trevor survives. Robbie has arrived, and the curtains are open. Down will go Team Lawrence members all over the map. Rovex forced to run away after pure disaster for Team Lawrence.
This is the kind of thing that only happens when teams have been playing for hours upon hours. You do not go for these kind of plays in a more controlled environment. And now Robbie, stopped a little bit. The stun has to land.
Ooh, looking to try and help out. Rovex is going to be Lawrence. Tries to defend him. Gold card goes out, able to get it in time. Ultimatum going to follow through. A couple more autos as Robbie's so low, but he does not fall. Lawrence jumps back in, and he can't finish the job. Porsche will slay him.
Robbie Bob staying alive the entire time. Absolutely crazy. It's going to reward them with more than just a couple of kills there. They're also going to be grabbing the... Oh, they don't even grab the turret, but they still have this big, big lead across the map. Again, the trade of gold for the Dragons is not happening in Team Lawrence's favor. They're falling behind across the map. And now look at how different Kitsuo versus Link is in this game versus last. This time, Kitsuo up 3,000 gold on his jungle opponent, and the rest of the map is doing fantastically as well. The only place where Team Lawrence are stronger than their opponents is in the bottom lane, where Logia up 3-1-1 to 1-1-4 and up about 40 CS could potentially be the one to try and carry the game, but it's so hard for this character to hit both the Yasuo and the Gwen.
Now here comes the teleport. These fights have been so close, so University of St. Thomas doesn't want to chance those odds anymore. They're going to try teleport play and flank onto Logia, who's able to use the Gale Force to get away in time, but there comes the knockup from the last breath onto Daption. Daption will be able to scoot away, but more damage onto Daption following through from Porsche. Will be able to secure the kill. Looking for the bear slap underneath the tower. Here comes the Destiny Gate going to be used. It's channeled into the mid lane as they set their sights on the Trevor. Trevor will fall, still following through. Katsuo going for the Drake, will be able to secure Dragon Soul points for the University of St. Thomas, but that is going to be a tower down in the mid lane, however, for Team Lawrence as they're able to get that objective bounty and be able to get out. It is a hectic fight coming out from both of these squads.
You're also starting to see that people are spending less time thinking, it's like, where is my opponent going next after they go for one of these fights, and Lawrence getting caught out because of it.
Yeah, Sonic Wave resonating strike to follow through from Kitsuo. Robbie looking to follow. There is the Dragon's Rage, but no last breath. It is on cooldown. Ultimatum going to be used, but only to try and buy time. Lawrence sidesteps the Sonic Wave, will be able to hop over the wall and get out with his life. But here comes the retaliation from Logia and Daption. The bot lane of Team Lawrence are starting to pop off as Link will continue the chase. Trevor will be coming out of the bush. Robbie Bob is on the flank as well. A couple more autos to go through. Will take down Texas. Robbie able to show up as Link tries to run away, but the fourth shot is too strong. Trevor will take him down. A teleport, meanwhile, from Lawrence, who's going to start targeting this top tower, but the fight is all over the place. Link down, two, however, answered. University of St. Thomas are not looking too good at this stage of the fight.
Okay, yeah, the game is right on back to even, about 1,000 gold currently in favor of UST, and a big part of this was the objective bounties that were introduced this season, right? The ability to take down these structures and get a bunch of money in return, and now Team Lawrence, the fact that I believe the objective bounties are still available means that they could actually come out to a gold lead if they are able to pick up another one of these structures based on how highly League of Legends values these dragons. So watch how effectively Team Lawrence are able to pick this up. I can't imagine that they feel that they're even still knowing that the objective bounties are still on the table.
Ooh, tough game, a very hectic game, and now Rovex not exactly in the right spot here, looking to find that gold card, will be able to land it. Now trying to run on out of there. Be a tall task to be had as Team Lawrence attack over towards Drake. Looking for more. Hero's Entrance going to be used. Only gets the knock up on the Logia. The Logia in a bad spot as Robbie now sets his sights on the Logia. Out comes the Featherstorm. Final pop of the curtain call will not find its mark, but Kitsuo will find the Sonic Wave, taking down Logia in the process. That is Link down, Logia down, Lawrence over the wall, goes after Trevor, can't take him down in time. The taunt goes through and Lawrence goes down. University of St. Thomas have just broken this game open as they head straight for the Baron.
Okay, we'll see how much they can actually pick up off of this. It's going to be incredibly difficult, impossible for Team Lawrence to actually try and contest this bear, and they're going to be moving up. This is their opportunity to try and pick up another one of these objective bounties. They need to push through this mid lane as quickly as possible and hopefully take down the structure, but they don't have the items to actually do it. Rovex starting to move forward. He's got the blue card, and that's the opportunity for Porsche to go.
Of course, not only to take it, saw Daption on the back. A little bit afraid of what might follow through, so instead the rotation going to come out from Team Lawrence. They know the Baron just got taken. They have a couple of seconds with this tower. Destiny Gate's still available if Rovex needs to hightail out of there in a quick manner. But it's going to be Texas who's going to show up over here. This is a rough one to try and run away from. If Texas gets the lockdown, he can cancel the Destiny Gate, so can't go for that channel just yet. A gold card goes through. Still looking for the taunt is going to be Texas, as Rovex has a very long road to find his way home, but he will be able to find it. He's still got to watch the sidelines, though, because Kitsuo is trying to find the flank. Here comes the Destiny Gate, able to get out, and now the collapse onto Kitsuo. Robbie is trying to show up, wants to find the Dragon's Rage, going to be able to flash away is Rovex as the fight continues over the wall. Porsche wanting to jump through, and it's going to be Link who falls. Rovex now left by his lonesome in between four members of the University of St. Thomas, two going down. Lawrence applying pressure over in the top lane, and the bot lane of Team Lawrence now rotating out towards the mid lane. They're trying to stop any momentum that University of St. Thomas can get on the map, can apply towards their base. Now Lawrence clearing out waves. Texas and Porsche going to show up. Lawrence just going to take the retreat, not going to go for more, but Robbie is on the flank, and so so is Logia, who's gone unspotted. Out comes the ultimatum, but last breath committed onto Lawrence. Logia using the blast plan, able to get over, will get followed through by Dapshin, who's trying to protect the marksman, trying to protect the ADC, but the damage has been done. University of St. Thomas, they don't only get the team fight win, they're able to claim another in Lawrence and take a bot lane tower, tier 2 in the process.
Once again, we're seeing the power that Yasuo and Gwen have against these ranged champions. It's so hard for them to interact, and we saw that even though they found what looked like a good flank, they just don't have the damage that they can do. They just can't hit.
Ooh, looking for the knockup on the Porsche. Porsche will sidestep it. Logia is there to provide the damage to the DPS to try and bring it as the root goes on to Porsche, but Link will fall in the process. It's still going to be a kill acquired. Porsche no longer on the map. Gold card available for Rovex. Gonna look to throw it onto Texas, but gets taunted in the process. Robbie unable to get close enough, but there's the curtain call, finding its mark onto Lawrence. Now Kitsuo in a rough spot, gets the Sonic Wave onto Logia, who's able to use the Feather Storm in time, tries to get the Blade Collar, looking for the turret to finish the job, but will not find it. Jumping forward is gonna be Trevor, however, and he will find everything. The ace goes through University of St. Thomas. They got something to say. They're not gonna lie down for the 2-0. They're taking the fight to Team Lawrence.
Okay, Link is the only person alive. He can't really do a whole lot. You see, he's just running really quickly. I don't know where he's going.
Running on out of there, trying to find any way to get a slip up from the University of St. Thomas. Teleport going to be used from Porsche to get into the mid lane, to posture up University of St. Thomas, to go for this Drake, to go for this Mountain Soul, as Link just watches Robbie walk away. What in the world do Team Lawrence do to stay alive? You're thinking about the next game. You're thinking about what can conclude this right now, because Robbie is thinking about his bloodthirsty blade going right through Link.
Yeah, there you go. 4-level difference. Robbie Bob continuing to go ham.
Oh, he's going even hammer as he goes deeper in between 3 members. He does not care. Will claim Rovex, Logia, and Dapshin. Now headed for the hills, headed for their base. They're trying to make for dodge, but they can't seem to dodge Katsuo and Robbie Bob as another kill goes through. Only Lawrence remains. This base is forfeit. University of St. Thomas, they take game number 2 of this best of 3 series. All gonna come to a conclusion right now here in the finals. University of St. Thomas versus Team Lawrence. 1 game away, both of these squads are, and what a day of League of Legends as they're hitting the Rift.
Oh, Texas is their coach. Nova.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's Nova? Oh my god, it's Nova!
That never, came together for me previously, but that makes a lot of sense. I knew him as Nova, I knew him as Nova Bot.
Yeah.
I had never heard the name Texas associated with him, but that is the head coach. They walked too far forward.
I've seen it too. I've seen him sub in for this squad under that name, and it just didn't click. It just didn't click for the longest time. I'm actually so happy that it's Nova, because the one thing that's come up a lot with the University of St. Thomas is every time Nova subs in, he always says he's going to try and play back a little bit and let his team shine, and then he ends up flexing around the map and trying to make these big plays instead. It ends up into a funny situation between these squads.
He's definitely been playing some interesting things as well, right? You know, he was the one who was playing the Lethal Tempo Lulu. He had the Lissandra, and now it's the Vex. All kinds of different options available to them, and this is the another unique champion. And this one a little bit more expected. This champion has been seen as a support from time to time, but definitely something that's a little bit less common.
Oh, Katsuo didn't realize there was a trap in that bush, and it's looking to chase him down as Lawrence gonna slap him with the hammer. Will not continue to go for the kill. Instead, she's going to get a little bit of chip damage.
Oh, no.
Throws out the shock blast, but it's not going to land. And now Robbie is starting to collapse onto this area. A little bit of health remains, but Link is able to get that blue buff. Now jumps towards Katsuo. Can't finish him off, though, and Porsche is doing a lot of work. Jumps forward. First blood will be secured by Lawrence, but he might leave Link to be fed to the wolves. Robbie gets an early blue buff.
Okay, well, Kitsuo is 0, 1, and 1. Going to be super, super late to their own jungle, whereas the top lane, at least DC Porsche and Lawrence are going to be at some kind of experience parity because they were both out of lane for such a long period of time. The big question is going to be is Link going to be able to translate this early lead in terms of that one camp into something a little bit larger, because he doesn't have a buff and he doesn't have a whole lot else to show for the fact that
Yeah.
he also died in that exchange.
This slows him down much more than it slows down Katsuo. Graves is still very fast when it comes to clearing out that jungle. Heading over to the red buff for both of these junglers, getting a look at the state of things, falling into the same exact position that they were earlier. The big thing here is Robbie Bob was able to get some of that gold. So was Lawrence, who picked up the first blood in that exchange.
Yeah, assist going over to Porsche, so he's not completely, up a creek, but it is a situation where Robbie Bob, we've already seen how effective he can be earlier in the game, and it's also worth noting that Rovex on the Caston was never going to join that fight, basically at all. Level 1 Caston is not a character, and it does mean that now, as Rovex is pushed underneath the turret, is actually effectively at a CS lead due to how much CS is underneath his turret, expecting that he's going to get probably at least half of it.
It's trying to secure all of it in the process. He's actually doing a pretty good job of claiming almost all of it. Lots of high pressure farming there. We'll be able to secure quite a bit of those creeps as Daption comes in for the gank, but Robbie does have flash. It is a flash burnt, so a lane you can revisit, and Link is looking to revisit it right away.
Yeah.
Jumping over the wall, goes right after Robbie, but can't seem to get the damage onto him, can't seem to get that gap closer. Now Texas and Trevor walking up towards the river, cutting off Daption, making him take the long way to lane. It's actually going to be the shorter way as the wave is pushed in. Now Link looking to come in for the flank here. Trevor and Texas might have stayed around for too long, but there is the fear. Able to do a little bit of disruption, not enough to stop Trevor's demise. Texas walks away. We should be able to get under his tower, but forced to burn the flash to be able to stay alive.
I really like the play. I want to go back to the mid lane gank into regain, because that's something we've been seeing Team Lawrence do a couple of times so far today. Daption will go in, and then immediately after he's left, Link will come around because the mid lane is like, oh, I'm safe, right? And it's like, nope, there is another person here to come fight you. And Lawrence doing a good job breaking up all these barrels, but I don't know if he realizes that Kitsuo is right around the corner.
Kitsuo so close. Can be brought up on a moment's notice and is going to be spotted out now, putting out the smoke screen and destroying Lawrence in the process, who does not have flash available from that early fight. So he will go down, and that's more gold going over to Porsche.
There's a big argument that I've made in the past that smokescreen is one of the worst designed abilities in League of Legends, on the basis that, an ability should be at least as fun to use as it is awful to get hit by. And most of the time, that's not true. You throw out the smoke screen, you're like, okay, well, it's there. It got a little bit of a slow. That is one of the times where you throw out the smoke screen, you're like, get destroyed, kid. Because there was absolutely nothing Lawrence could do because he was caught in a spot where he couldn't see a Daption mid lane.
Ooh, on to Robbie. He does not have his flash available, but does have the gravitational field. That's done. Will buy him enough time to be safe and get Katsuo into the lane, who throws out that smoke screen you hate so much, but will not find the follow-up gank. Rovex is now level 6, so does have the Rift Walk. Gets the slow on Katsuo, who's only level 4. Doesn't want to challenge that. Backs off, burns his flash.
Good, good awareness from Kitsuo. That was not a fight that he wanted to take. Rovex can run him down, especially since he's gone with that Conqueror style of build, where he's going to be doing a lot more sustained damage, as well as healing pretty much every time he goes for one of these big, like, tier 4 Rift Walks after you've stacked it up a couple of times and pay all the extra mana for it. But at the same time, we're also seeing this roaming death squad in the mid lane, where both Daption and Link potentially looking to dive again.
Oh, Team Lawrence right over the wall. They will be able to get the kill, but Kitsuo was waiting, comes out of the jungle, gets the revenge kill onto Rovex. Mid laner for mid laner going to be trade. Team Lawrence trying to do that very cheeky mid lane gank where they just dive the tower over the wall. Almost succeeding there if Katsuo wasn't just waiting to take an advantage. But here comes the fight coming out from the top lane. Lots of damage coming out from Lawrence onto Porsche, who backs out before taking any from the barrel. Shoving in the wave towards the tower, but Link going to take the recall.
Little surprised Link didn't go for that, not because I thought it was a good play, but more just because of the way that he's been playing so far. He's just been going for pretty much every fight that was playable, and eventually just going to be backing away. And the early lead that he had off of the one camp hasn't really materialized, and I'm not surprised by that either, right? It was only one camp, and Talon doesn't farm faster than Graves. Um, but it does end up meaning that Team Lawrence, the one big advantage they had based off of such a chaotic early game, does not really come to anything. And now with a gold lead that is only about 1,000, they still need to find ways to get Rovex to level 11.
Rovex still being a menace at this stage of the game, though. Able to push in Robbie Bob a bit and have a CS lead over Robbie Bob. See how much that can really amount to, given Link has been applying a lot of pressure towards that lane, really just trying to make Robbie Bob's life hell when that flash was down, and that the flash is back and available. Imagine Daption and Link will be looking to get that burnt from him once again. The gravitational field going to delay Rovex, a little bit more damage coming out in Robbie's way.
There's also a lot of sustain coming through for Rovex, right? He does... Oh, excuse me, he doesn't have the fleet footwork. I thought he did, but we already talked about how he has Conqueror. You know, just because the players have been playing for a long time, we've been casting for a long time too. Sometimes you misread what's going on, and at this point, we also have to pay attention to the fact that UST have consistently been getting the first 2 dragons of the game, and this game looks to be no different as Kitsuo grabs that for his team, and Rovex continue to push around Robbie.
Adaption looking to push around Robbie as well, but the rest of the squad of the University of St. Thomas are able to show up to the mid lane, making sure that Robbie doesn't have too much pressure he has to deal with. Still CS lead going over Rovex, and a response coming out from Team Lawrence. They are able to get the Rift Herald and get out, but it's going to be Lawrence who's in a little bit of a tight spot. Smokescreen doesn't provide enough of a slow to take him down, and ultimate not going to land from Texas.
Yeah, just shorting it a little bit, and that's kind of what I mean, right? Most of the time, the Smokescreen doesn't do a whole lot other than a bit of a slow, because you walk out of it almost instantly. But we're also seeing Lawrence getting out of a situation that was looking rather dire, and Daption also threatening to dive Trevor while the support of Texas is not around. It is just going to be another plate as Trevor is allowed to walk back up to the lane now that the Vex is back around.
Ooh, and the root comes through. The chain CC is there, and Trevor, bad spot to be underneath his own tower, gets locked down, sent straight to the grave. Death number 2 of the game for Trevor.
He and I made the same mistake. We both thought that he was going to be safe walking right up to the tower with Vex so close, but without the ultimate, there's no way for Vex to really interact. And across the map, Team Lawrence now starting to come to small leads. Link, getting the extra heal coming through from the Frog. And Lawrence and Link going to be pressuring Porsche off this structure. And Porsche, he's on his signature champion. This is the champion that I knew him back when he was, I believe, like a 14-year-old playing for Super League Gaming. And now, as he is getting pushed off the turret, he is down rather significantly, and this entire structure going down is going to give a lot of gold to Lawrence and Link.
That is first brick headed over to them as trying to catch out. University of St. Thomas looking to get onto Team Lawrence, but it's going to be Team Lawrence going on to them as Link gets a burst of damage, but the killer instinct follow-up from Trevor, too good, gets a kill of his own.
Yeah. We've been seeing a lot of Kaisa builds coming up today as well, and that would only be possible right there with the lethality. Serrated Dirt getting picked up there by Trevor. A lot of people have been rushing the Murm on it directly, but you don't have nearly as much damage. You are giving up a lot of early game pressure. Instead, Trevor is able to pick that one up and keep this game somewhat competitive. They are still down 2,000 gold, but every little bit helps.
Rovex fraying out of lane a little bit, looking to roam around with Daption. Daption, we've seen a lot of the same from him. He doesn't like to stay locked down to this lane, will get out of lane, will get in those deep wards, try and set up something with Logia to find a dive onto Robbie. It's not the best target to go for a dive. Robbie does have a lot of defenses he can use with the Gravitational Field, Chaos Storm. Instead, just shoving in the wave for the time being as Rovex shoving in a wave of his own. The bot lane of University of St. Thomas covering the mid lane for the time being.
I also got to give a little bit of praise here to Team Lawrence for how much pressure they have applied towards this Caston, right? Oh, diving. Not going to necessarily find a whole lot more out of that, but just getting Caston into a situation where he is getting close to level 11, currently level 9, is really, really good for this team because they've actually slowed it down in ways that I wasn't really expecting.
I've done a good job so far of trying to get Rovex towards that pivotal point. And even with that play that happened in the bot lane, the attempted tower dive, respecting the gravitational field, not allowing Robbie to get more kills underneath that tower than was really needed. As the cannon barrage is going to go out just to clear the way for the time being, buy a little bit of time for this tower that's under a lot of pressure. Logia, Daption have been down there for a long time, completely uncontested.
Yeah, we see that Trevor and Texas starting to move towards the mid lane and allowing Victor to side lane, which is great because it means that Trevor is going to be CSing rather uncontested, but it also puts other people at a really large risk, as we already saw Robbie getting jumped on previously, still looking for ways to find a good lane to farm. He had recovered most of the CS deficit up against Rovex, but starting to reappear again as Rovex really pulling ahead on this Gassadin.
Team Lawrence really like playing around this bot side. You can see the wards established. They keep getting more and more control wards put on this bot side, both in the tri-bush, in the bush right behind the ward, and now here comes in Link, jumps over. Is he able to get the steal? I didn't actually spot out if Link was able to grab that away. Gets the steal and gets out. Yeah, no red buff on Katsuo, so a little bit of a highway robbery coming out from Link as the final plate gets taken. Rovex able to grab that on the bot lane. That tower not long for this world. Dragon spawning soon as well. It spawns now, actually.
We saw UST picking up multiple early dragons in the last couple of games that we've seen, and now doesn't look like it's going to go that way. Trevor getting jumped on all alone for the first time.
Once again, Link, focus is towards the spot lane. The focus is eliminating it. They are going to be able to grab the tower. Team Lawrence also focusing on the Drake. Having complete control of this bot side of the map. Going to be their first Drake of the game thus far. Even this up to 1-1 in Drakes. However, University of St. Thomas, they are starting to head upwards now. Over that top tower. They've had a lot of free time for Porsche to farm up. Contested by Lawrence, of course.
Oh.
But now, here comes Link, hopping over the wall, looking for more. Will use the ultimate, gets caught out by the gravitational field. It is a long stun to have to deal with. But there is an entrance coming out from Logia, trying to find more. Will get the fourth shot and flash away, takes down Trevor in the process. But Rovex is here. Rovex has a lot of mana and a lot of health. Not sure if Katsuo can cleave through that one. Daption will take him down. Now Lawrence on the run, goes right after Robbie Bob and brings the hammer to his face. Porsche able to do nothing off the back end of that team fight. Lawrence able to take it.
And Porsche just not able to interact with that fight basically at all. You're also seeing that he's being forced towards the early shield bow instead of going for the Essence Reaver like Gangplank's so like to do. So lots of choices being made as the fights just continue. And oh my god, look at the damage from Lawrence.
Oh, it is so big, but Porsche survives, and this is hubris coming right out from Team Lawrence as a double kill gets picked up by Coach Nova.
There he goes. Yeah, just in time, and it is going to save TC Porsche's life. Daption was in the middle of his W when he gets feared, but the rest of the game still is in a bit of an awkward spot. Rovex is now level 11, has the Crown of the Shattered Queen completed. And people always talk about the level 16 from Caston, and yes, level 16 on Caston is amazing, but the level 11 is really where you start being a big menace to a lot of all these champions, and now we're going to be able to see him start chasing people down if he's left alone in a long lane.
Team Lawrence now being able to get their reset, hitting the map, looking to send Rovex over towards the bot lane to try and catch this tower, to try and catch the wave as the Chaos Storm goes off. Robbie Bob will punish that forward Rift Walk coming out from Rovex. Katsuo looking to follow suit. Will not be able to chase Rovex down, but just wants to make sure that he's not in the area, taking the recall to allow Robbie the safety to take that tower. Now Trevor able to land the missiles. Logia will back off, and so will the rest of Team Lawrence. Not willing to take any fights here. Control the map, mostly going over to University of St. Thomas as they continue to push forward.
See how much more they can get. There's another dragon spawning in 2.5, and Link, you know, there's enough wave clear on the side of Team Lawrence here that they should be a-okay. But another set of interesting choices coming out from Rovex, choosing to skip boots in favor of picking up the Fimbulwinter as we see the curtain call open. Unlikely to kill anyone.
All shots landing onto Texas, however. Good chunk of health, but it shouldn't be the most significant thing given the stage of the game. We still have 2 minutes before that Drake spawns. A lot of health left on this mid lane tower. But for Team Lawrence, it's just about buying time to open up this jungle and open up the wounds of Porsche, who will bleed out at the hands of Link, but returning fire is going to be Katsuo taking down Logia. Katsuo tries to chase Daption, will be able to walk over towards where Rovex is. Robbie Bob in that area. See if they're looking to meet for a fight, not looking to take it. Team Lawrence, however, will focus towards this top side, putting down Shelly and grabbing a tier 2 tower.
It's going to be crashing here into the inhibitor turret, and because inhibitor turrets focus so much more on having resistances rather than health, that's why it does like 2/3, 3/4 of the HP coming out all at once. That just means that it's going to be way easier to take down later on. I always like picking up this outer bot turret, or excuse me, inner bot turret, just because it's a turret that you don't often pick up in a lot of games. It's one that if you are able to get is just basically a bunch of extra money because you don't often go back, right? Top laners tend to go into the bottom lane afterwards. They tend to go for places where they are able to farm on the opposite side of the map from the Baron. And if you are able to pick up this turret, it's just an extra, 700 gold for the entire team that you would oftentimes just not see.
And a pretty good gold lead coming out of Lawrence, as he is able to get the CS lead, he's getting the kill lead, he's getting the structures and objectives as well. Lawrence having a good game thus far as he continues applying pressure over towards the bot lane. The rest of Team Lawrence, they're starting to set up for this Drake. You have another 28 seconds before it hits, and just look at this bottom side jungle, and just look at the kills coming through, but this might be thwarted. A Cannon Barrage and a Chaos Storm gonna do the job, as University of St. Thomas able to take down 3, only losing Robbie in the process. With Drake spawning soon, a little bit of a hiccup coming in. Logia able to stay in a good spot. Rovex now running low on mana, does have the blue buff though, so it will be regenerating as they try and defend to stop University of St. Thomas from taking this Drake. Rovex might hop in. Rovex might be looking for more. Going into the direction of Trevor, the missiles go out, it is going to land. Rovex still will Rift Rock forward. The health bar getting lower for Trevor, but backup has arrived and Rovex has fallen. Texas gets the kill, and now the Dragon completely in the hands of University of St. Thomas.
Texas once again the savior that his team needs in order to find another kill and turn around an impending death. So this is a situation where UST not getting the first 2 dragons, but getting dragons 1 and 3, meaning that they are still ahead. And it felt like Team Lawrence, they were easily 4,000 gold ahead prior to this, but now they're in a spot where they are once again even in terms of gold, and the game becomes super, super chaotic. The prime time for Talon is already past. He was hoping to be super far ahead at this point that they could try and carry the game. They are not at that point. 4, 5, and 2, down a little bit of CS, have an item and a half, and they do respectable damage, but they aren't going to be threatening to blow up Victor anytime soon. And Robbie Bob is once again the linchpin of this team.
And it's been quite a bit of greed coming out from Team Lawrence. They overstay in a lot of these plays. They keep trying to get more. We saw that with Rovex looking to get the assassination onto Trevor, and it failed. And it's a lot of momentum lost for Team Lawrence in that process because it did lose them a Drake. Now they're looking to try and get that back as they set up towards the mid lane, getting a curtain call off. A good chunk of damage coming through as they get about everyone to half health, except for Robbie Bob, who's able to show up completely fresh. Link and Lawrence waiting in the flanks, looking to get that poke damage. Is going to be Lawrence with a shock blast coming right through. They want this mid lane tower. They want to open up the rift and be able to get more vision towards this area. Another shock blast not going to find its mark, and the defense will be successful from the University of St. Thomas.
This is starting to get really, really tense across the entire map.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been tense for a while, but this is really where it's starting to come to a head, right? Because Team Lawrence, as I look at their logo again and chuckle a little bit to myself, is they're trying to create space for Rovex, but Rovex is surprisingly not able to push against all the members of UST, not able to create situations where they go in, but Trevor might be caught.
Ooh, Trevor almost caught out. Deadly Flourish not going to land. Neither is the ultimate from Daption. He will back off. Actually, ultimate not even used there, just trying to get the knockup.
Oh.
But look at this bad spot to
what?
be for Lawrence. I'm not sure what was going on
teleporting.
there. I saw a channel coming out. That was a TP being used. Lawrence getting caught with his pants down. Now Link jumping over the wall, gets followed through. Robbie trying to get him with the Chaos Storm. Looking to get more, will not be able to get the Death Laser onto Link. Link going to be able to stay alive as the tower goes down. Going to be University of St. Thomas grabbing that kill, getting the tower, and now posturing towards Baron. They have a lot of effective vision to work with here, but Rovex is alive, Daption's alive, Logia's alive, Link is coming back, Lawrence is the only one down right now, and they're collapsing onto Daption. Daption will collapse in the process as he falls straight onto his face, and the rest of the members of Team Lawrence, 3 remain as they walk around this Baron area, trying to get some vision in. The curtain call is going to be used. Rovex looking to dive in, and so is Link, just waiting for that number to get low enough. Logia will be able to take down Porsche, and now Link cannot get there in time to steal away the Baron. Texas is low. Rovex will rift walk away. Link cannot get close enough. Will pop the ultimate. Goes after Texas. Texas goes golden. He buys time. Logia has to run away. And Rovex tries to go after Robbie. Robbie, too much health to work with here. Link gets closer. Texas trying to dissuade him with his own control, but Trevor finds the snipe onto Logia. Another shutdown goes through as Lawrence is able to get one. Now Rovex looking to try and find any stragglers that might be low, but the health bar's too high for University of St. Thomas. A close fight between both of these squads, but Baron over to UST.
We're seeing a big problem coming up for Team Lawrence, Eric. We are seeing that Rovex just doesn't have the damage. He's really pushing towards a 3-item wake up at this point because the Fimbulwinter, yes, you do a lot, or you have a lot of effective HP every time you go in. You get that shield when you press E on the enemy team, but you don't have any damage to follow it up. It takes a lot longer to build up at this point, and it looks like they're going to be continuing to go for a tanky style of build, as those are the components that you tend to see when you're going to be going for a Frozen Heart as your 3rd item. And Rovex, I'm a little bit worried that, yes, you are very difficult to kill, but you need to be able to kill these people.
Difficult to kill. Needs to net the kills, as you just said, Josh. And now Rovex is looking to do that as he tries to get a flank in. No vision on this area. He might have been spotted out by a ward. Still in that flank. They haven't got him with the sweeper yet, so Rovex hiding in that bush. They do suspect that he might be there, but they weren't suspecting Link as Link jumps in, goes onto Katsuo. Curtain call open, weaves it in, and scores the kill, but Rovex will be taken down in the process. Now Link looking to run out, a lot of damage going off onto Texas, as the Deadly Flourish is going to land onto Texas as well. Texas too low, 200 health, has to back off. This dragon now on the map. Team Lawrence looked to have priority on it, and they want to take it down. University of St. Thomas are going to put their attention elsewhere.
Team Lawrence are going to be able to pick this up. Shock Bus goes a little bit wide, and Robbie Bob, crucially, is the one with full HP on the side of UST. See if they're going to try and attack him. It is so hard. He's got the slow active at this point. Basically, every time he throws an ability, he's going to be doing pretty decent slow. So the amount of damage he's able to do and catching you every single time, and these abilities just guarantee that the other abilities are also going to be landing. So Lawrence now trying to take matters into his own hands a little bit, as we see Link, he's going for some cheeky opportunities to go for assassinations.
Ooh, tries to get on the Porsche and will be able to claim him, will be able to take him down, but Texas has something to say about that in his first rodeo as he takes down Link in the process. Porsche for Link exchange.
It's just that 1-for-1, but a little bit of extra gold going over for the assist. And Robbie Bob, watch how much damage he does to Logia here.
Oof. Yeah, the Gale Force coming out of pure fear for Logia. Gotta watch out because that Chaos Storm can follow at any given second. Now Robbie and Katsuo, this little duo, roaming the blue side jungle of Team Lawrence. Meanwhile, Lawrence pushing heavily into that inhibitor tower. Now we'll look towards Trevor. Doesn't have much mana to work with here. Does he have the damage? Will get the knockback. Interesting timing coming in through on that. The Shock Blast just in time. Gets it and falls. Happy taking someone with him.
Okay, well that's another kill going over to Robbie Bob, and look how chaotic this game has become all over the map. It's all about, like, how well are you doing, and the burn is enough for Kitsuo to take down Logia as well. It feels like the Baron buff that we saw a while back doesn't even matter. It's completely gone at this point, and the game has just kind of devolved into, you know, who finds who? Are you going to be able to find more people to go for your fight, and is Link going to be able to beat Kitsuo?
Ooh, goes right after Kitsuo, but backs off when the burst damage is not enough to take him down. Now University of St. Thomas headed over for this inhibitor tower, but there is Coach Nova teaching a lesson straight to Link, and it will result in his death as the inhibitor goes down. University of St. Thomas, they keep marching forward.
And every single time, it feels like Robbie Bob is able to pick up another kill just by walking over and pressing E on somebody. We'll see if they're going to be able to get out of this one as well, because Rovex needs to be really careful. They are very low. The recalls have started, and it doesn't look like UST are going to be there in time. So they will be able to get out of this safely, but they've already lost an inhibitor at SRX. They are losing opportunities to build space on the map, and Rovex getting close to level 16, which might be the damage that he needs. That feels so far away now.
27 minutes into this game, about 3K separating these two teams. An inhibitor cracked. Team Lawrence with their back against the wall, while University of St. Thomas still have a lot to work with, still have one more inner tower remaining before you get towards those inhibitor towers. And taking a look at where the gold's allocated, Robbie Bob, 9 kills over to him with a 650 bounty on his head. Rabadon's death cap completed. He will be that prime target for Team Lawrence to take down. On the side of Team Lawrence, you do have a lot of gold that's coming on to Link and Lawrence themselves, but Link cannot use that gold to find the assassinations he so desperately wants. He's been unable to get those quick kills and get out. It is a rough spot for Team Lawrence to be in, and University of St. Thomas, they are sitting pretty, having Robbie Bob, and if they can keep him alive, they might find even more. Kitsuo starts to run low as that engage starts. Daption has to back off as the curtains are opened. Fourth shot, not going to land. Shock Blast goes out, gets onto Porsche, chanks him, gives him a good chunk for about half of his health, but look at Link. He's deep in the jungle, has Rovex deep in the bot lane, still has teleport available. Very split is Team Lawrence.
And they have this massive problem that the mid lane turret is still up. Daption should be okay right now, but the Baron's currently getting started, and both Link and Rovex are on the opposite side of the map. It's going to be very difficult for Team Lawrence to contest.
And it is rough there. Lawrence wants to go in onto Trevor, but he knows the follow-up from University of St. Thomas can come over the wall, and here we go. Over the wall. Lawrence able to get the shutdown. Will collect that 650 gold, but it's going to be a trade. Now Texas goes gold and buys some time, but it's not going to be enough. He will fall to Logia. The team fight continues. It's getting lower and lower. It's going to be the University of St. Thomas. Can they get the Baron? They will be able to secure it, but now they have to fight Team Lawrence, but they are split. Another member of UST goes down, still scrapping it out. Another of UST goes down. Logia will fall, and Porsche will fight, but will fail. A kill over to Rovex, and the ace going over to Team Lawrence.
10 seconds left until the next dragon spawns as well. All of these members are going to still be dead. The only person who's going to be there in time from UST is potentially Robbie Bob, but Team Lawrence, they're not even able to get there themselves. They don't have an opportunity to go because their waves are pushed underneath their own side of the map. That just means both teams, as they start to come back onto the map, mean that we get another fight here very shortly. But Lawrence, he wants to skip that. He just wants to do the dragon all on his own before there's any opportunity for UST to do anything.
Yeah, we still got about 10 seconds left on the top side of the map for University of St. Thomas, so they should not be able to get here in time, but they're looking to still try and chance it. You got the Death Ray over the wall. Will it be enough damage? Smite is available! Robbie gets the steal! Doesn't give a damn about the Smite. We'll put down that Death Ray, and we'll make sure that the University of St. Thomas stay in this fight!
That's what's so dangerous, is you gotta make sure you clear out the vision. There was no Smite available. Link wasn't at the dragon just quite yet, and that's gonna be putting UST one away from the Ocean Soul. Crucially though, again, Team Lawrence not able to break open the first turret in the mid lane. Robbie Bob and Trevor have done such a good job defending it. Now Link trying to find something to get this kill.
Ooh, Link wants to get it onto Robbie, but Robbie brings it right back. Jungler down for Team Lawrence. 31 minutes into this game. This is disaster. You still have a lot of time before objectives come out, but I don't think University of St. Thomas are thinking about that. They're thinking about towers. They're thinking about inhibitors as they set up a wave going for the top lane.
The worst part of that was Robbie Bob hadn't even popped his elixir before he just destroyed Link there. You saw it pop after the fact, and now he's going to be doing even more damage. He's got another Hextech alternator, but Team Lawrence might have an opportunity here. They have lots of members coming around. It's potential 3v4. Lawrence is on the opposite side of the map. He is going to be backing away, and Daption might be the one getting caught instead.
31 minutes into this. This is not that big of a gold lead going over to University of St. Thomas. 4K separating these teams at this given state. We still have 3 minutes, 30 seconds before either neutral objective is on the map right now. Shock Blast comes out of Lawrence as standing as a unit is going to be the University of St. Thomas. They are working their way over towards the Drake side. Rovex waiting very carefully. He's going to be caught out by the sweeper, but goes for the engage, and so will the rest of Team Lawrence. They're fighting for their final chance right here. This could be it. Katsuo falls. It's 2 members down.
Robbie?
University of St. Thomas might have lost this one as Rovex is able to hop away. There goes the Chaos Storm, but they can't finish the job. Link jumps in, but he will fall. Rovex going for more. Can't finish off Trevor. Now Daption able to join. Robbie Bob fights for his life, fights for the last chance of the University of St. Thomas, but they are routed. Team Lawrence walking down the mid lane.
Oh god, the timers are so long, but the waves are so bad. I don't even know if they're going to be able to end off of that nearly clean ace. Link, the only one who's going to be falling, but look how quickly they're going to be ripping through. Kitsuo should be alive. Texas should be alive for this hold, but it's going to be such a difficult task for them. Are they going to be able to do it? This is going to need to be one of the biggest plays of their lives.
The last stand has arrived. Can Texas do it? Can you defend the Alamo, buddy? Let's see it. Nova gets knocked up and put down. Kitsuo will try his best to follow up with that defense. He's got the boomstick ready, but boom, he goes. Nexus exposed. Team Lawrence are going to win the League of Legends Winter Champs qualifiers.
Oh my god.